Hi guys, I'm David with Media Unlocked, and today we're going to be going over all the functions of the Magic Lantern October 21st build. I don't know how to work all the settings, and I don't understand all the settings, but I'm going to go over what I do and try to explain it to you guys, because I know a lot of people are wondering what some of the stuff does. Another thing to go over is I'm getting a lot of questions. Why is my card stop recording after like 2 or 3 seconds? The reason is because you probably have a Class 4 or a Class 6 card. And your camera, the way the camera works is it sends information to the SD card. Now, the Class 4 or Class 6, that information has to be read at a slower pace than like a Class 8 or a Class 10. So your camera is sending more information to the card than the card can capture. Therefore, the card just stops because it can't keep up with all the information the camera is sending it. That's due to the fact that you have a Class 4 or Class 6 and it's a slower speed. So that might explain, some of your problems there, and that's also why Magic Lantern doesn't work on many Class 4 or Class 6 cards. I have heard cases where it has worked on a Class 4 and a Class 6, supposedly. I've gotten messages through YouTube. But that reason being is because your card's just too slow, and that's why it's doing stop recording automatically. So what we're going to do is, we had ML on here. Let's just open the shutter up again here. Things to go over before we do this: hit the menu button. You can, in the newest build, format your card. Now, it does take a second if you guys watch. It's got to go through all these steps here. There you go. And push OK, and boom, card is formatted. So, simple as that. Got to wait a second. There we go. And let's go into ML. Alright, so we're going to be doing this on a Canon T2i. The T3i is a little bit different, but not much. And the only big difference in the T3i and the T2i, far as your Magic Lantern settings, is audio. You don't really have an audio part right here on the T3i due to the fact that Canon kind of fixed some audio issues that were in the T2i where Magic Lantern had to compensate for them. So, right here you've got your audio meters. You can turn those on and off, and if you notice, the meters will usually sit up here at the top. Actually, they're down here right now, so those are your audio meters right there. Analog gain, I have it set to 23. I don't know why it's at 23. I usually keep analog gain at 29. Now you have your left and right digital gain. Now that's going to distort your sound a little bit, so only use that in extreme situations when you really need it. AGC on or off, of course I've got that off. Input source. So I've got it set to INT, stands for internal and external. So you can actually go down here if you want to just set it to EA. There's internal, there's left, there's external stereo. So that's if you're going to like plug in like a Rode mic or whatever, it's going to capture your audio through that. Mic power, then you have your output volume, and then you have monitoring on and off. Now this is awesome. If you have this turned to on, you can actually monitor your audio with like I think it's called like a FIO. I think that's what I have. And that monitor, you can set up like this little gadget through your camera, and you're able to monitor audio. If you guys look up in the screen, there's a link to how to do that. So I've done a video a couple months back, so that might help you out for anybody that's interested in being able to monitor audio while you're shooting video. Okay, so that's your audio settings. Now, next is live view. Now, I should say one other thing. If you ever get to something that you don't understand, like, I don't know, what's global draw, right? Well, I'm going to hit the display button right here, and it's going to explain to me what global draw is. And then hit the display again, and it's back. So what's zebra? Again, hit the display. Oh, okay, that explains what zebra is. See, so that's the one really nice thing about Magic Lantern is if you don't know what it does, you can actually hit the display button. It's going to explain it to you. Then you'll understand it, or at least hopefully be able to get a grip on it. Also, Q right here is going to be like your auto settings. So if you ever get to, when we get down to like ISO and we want to set ISO, we're going to hit Q and it will automatically set your ISO for what it thinks is best for the situation. All right, so global draw is on. Tell you the truth, I have no idea really what global draw is. I could hit the, actually turn the global draw on, and I could hit the display, and let's see what it says. Enable, disable drawing extra graphic elements. So it has to do with graphic elements in your histogram. Okay, so that's what that is. Zebras. Now zebras are pretty cool. What zebra does is it lets you know when stuff is over contrast or under contrast. So say you're taking a shot and you're trying to get like the contrast as perfect as possible. Well, you can use zebra, and it's going to really help you out get that contrast, overexposed or underexposed. I shouldn't say contrast as much as overexposed or underexposed. So you can get your exposure as perfect as you possibly can. And Zebra's going to help you out with that. You have focus peaks. I don't know a lot about focus peaks, to tell you the truth, but mainly it's setting up how you're going to focus on your subjects and stuff, I believe, if I'm not correct. And again, if I'm wrong on some of these things, guys, leave a comment, correct me, because there are so many functions in the Magic Lantern, I don't understand them all, even though I shoot professionally. Then you have your Magic Zoom, which is really awesome. What Magic Zoom allows you to do, actually, let's see if I can get it set up for you here. Magic Zoom is probably one of my favorite things about Magic Lantern. So if you wanted to zoom in, if you notice this piece right here, and I know you really can't see it, but right here a little box will pop up. Now, wherever you've got your focus points, and this is going to be your focus point, is this little guy right here. So wherever this is at, it's going to zoom, super zoom it, and you're going to be able to get a really good focus on your subject or whatever item you're trying to focus on. So mainly Magic Zoom magnifies it so you can really see if you're in or out of focus, which I use a heck of a lot and I absolutely love. All right, let's go back. Crop marks. I don't usually use crop marks too much, but they are there if you need crop marks. You've got a bunch of different ones to pick from. Ghost image. I'm going to skip that one because I don't know what a ghost image is. Live D-fish. Again, don't know what that is. You have your spot meter. False colors has to do with light colors. You really don't need to turn that on, in my opinion. Some people may disagree. Histogram. Now, let's see, we can go on and turn the histogram on, or how do we, okay, it's off. Your histogram pretty much explains colors, so it's going to turn it on to RGB. And you've got it up here, so as you notice, we're really over contrast to the far right. So this is going to be darker right here. This is going to be really, really bright, so over contrast, under contrast, and then you want it to be in some of this mid-range right here. I don't know a lot about histograms. It's kind of hard to explain, and I've had people try to explain it to me, and it's kind of hard to understand. So, but mainly you want to keep, we'll go back to it real quick. Mainly, from my understanding, you want to keep it in the mid-range, and you want it to spike a little bit. So, right now, this would be a really bad shot, but if we were to drop, see here, let's drop our ISO. Now, see, the histogram is more middle, and this is more, you know, this is more correct color. As you can see everything a lot better in the background now because it's not over contrast, it's not far to the right. But if we under contrast it, hold on, now you see we're going under contrast or underexposed. So we'll bring it back up to 400. So, and there we go. Okay, so that's kind of what your histogram does. Clear screen, half shutter. Don't really know what that does either. Again, if you don't know what something does, hit the display button. It's going to explain it to you. Okay, your exposures. Now, everyone should know what ISO is. White balance. Now, I don't really use the white balance automatically. You can hit Q. Like if I hit Q right now, it's going to auto white balance it for me. I don't really like it. I have to admit that I don't think the auto white balance works that great. It seems to put weird tints when it white balances, and it white balances wrong a lot of times, so I don't mess with the white balance settings too much. And so that's just my opinion. Some people may love the white balance setup. I don't. For Magic Lantern, I don't really think it works that well. Let's see here. You got the white balance shift. I think that stands for GM, maybe gamma. Not correct. So you can mess a little more in detail with your white balance. Shutter. This is going to help with your aperture right here. Light adjust. Let's see what that does. See, I'm learning new stuff. So you can just do different adjustments to see if you can get your lighting just right, the way you like it. Picture style. I've got mine set to user definition 2. I'm using CineStyles. I believe it's CineStyle that I'm using. No, yes, I'm not 100% positive. But I'm using, pretty much what this is a preset that goes in and sets your image or your colors to be easier to edit in like a Premiere, Final Cut or whatever. So the colors that it's kind of hard to explain, but the colors that your camera uses, Canon-wise, these colors kind of make it more dull in a manner of speaking, which makes it easier to edit when you're trying to do color correction in post. Maybe I'll shoot a video on that and explain that to you guys, kind of how that works. Record, let's see here, contrast, and then these are, if you need to go in and set up like your contrast, saturation, sharpness, depending on the situation, you can do that. So that's your exposure tab. Next is your movie tab. Now this has to do with your bit rate. Now a lot of people have been asking me, can you record more than 12 minutes? I am sad to tell you that you cannot record more than 12 minutes at a time right now. So, and the reason being is that it has to do with, you can only record up to 4 gigs. Once you hit 4 gigs, your camera's going to shut off. That's right at 12 minutes. So 12 gigs is roughly 4 gigs. 12 minutes is roughly 4 gigs of footage. Once you hit that 4 gigs, your camera's going to automatically shut off, and you're going to have to start back over again. So that, so you know you cannot record more than 12 minutes right now, which is kind of sucks. But you can if you lower your bit rate. Therefore, it takes you 30 minutes to hit 4 gigs instead of 12 minutes to hit 4 gigs, but lesser quality. Excuse me, guys. All right, so bit rate. So we're going to go in here. We're going to record. And your bit rate's going to be right up here in this small corner. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can zoom in here. No, I'm zoomed in as far as I possibly can go. Okay, it's going to show your bit rate. Right now, my bit rate's at -14. When it's -16, it's going to be your highest quality. And it's going to, actually, your bit rate kind of goes up and down in a manner of speaking when you're shooting. I don't know why. I've noticed that recently. So that's your bit rate, and you can go down and you can mess with your bit rate some. Warn level. So when it hits the 70% buff, now this goes back to what I was talking about, the SD card getting over buff, therefore automatically stop recording. So I've got mine to 70%. So when my SD card hits 70% of buff, that means 30% more, and then it's going to pretty much shut down on me. It's going to give me a warning and let me know, hey, you hit 70%. Pretty soon this is probably going to shut down. It's going to give you that can't record any longer message, error message. Or not, it's not really an error, but a message on your screen. So I got mine set to 70%. Time indicator, and I don't actually know what this does, but I'm going to read about it real quick. Okay, so it has to do with, this is mainly, actually I do know what this is, my apologies. This mainly has to let you know when you're recording. It's going to give you a time indicator up here, how much time do you got left to record before your camera's going to stop, so which is really nice. Bitrate info, movie logging, and that bitrate info again has to go with your bitrate right up here. And this is going to give you the info on it. Movie logging, shutter lock, movie restart. Okay, now this, if I remember correctly, what this does is if you turn this on, when you hit your 12 minutes, what it's going to do is going to automatically, of course it's going to have to stop, and then it will automatically start recording for you. So you actually don't have to push the record button to start up for another 12 minutes. So as soon as you hit your 12 minutes, it's going to just stop and start up again. So say you're like shooting a concert or something, you're only going to lose, a couple seconds during that concert because it's mainly going to stop recording and then start recording again for another 12 minutes, and it's going to keep doing that for you, which is really nice for people that don't want to every 12 minutes make sure you're right around your camera and you're pushing the record button again. So you have that option if you need it. That's the best thing as far as trying to record more than 12 minutes. That's the closest thing you're going to get right now. Movie mode remap, I have no idea what that is. Record standby, movie record key, and force, okay, here's another one, force HDMI VJ. So mainly, if I'm understanding this correctly, my mic fell. Hopefully that didn't sound horrible. You can set it up to where you can do HDMI out now, which is really nice, onto an external monitor, which is, I guess, been around for a while. But mainly you can turn that on or off, so you can set it up to where you can do HDMI and have an external monitor, which has been a big deal for a lot of people, especially people that are using these cameras to shoot professionally. All right, so next is our shoot. So this is more photography type stuff. You've got HDR bracketing, which is awesome. I've shown some of you how to use this in previous videos. Record, interval, bulb ramping. So mainly all these functions are for photographers. I'm going to go through them real quick. Most of these settings, photographers should know what they are. This is set up for HDR. This is going to set up for how often you want to take pictures when you're doing HDR bracketing. Then this sets for automatic shooting, how many seconds. And LCD remote is kind of cool. If I remember quickly, turn this on. Let's see if this will. And away, and you should see that and start recording. And if I want to stop recording, I can actually start and stop it from it's going to use these, or it's going to use this right here. Well, I might be wrong on this one, but you can set it up to where you can take pictures just by putting your hand in front of this, and it will take pictures. So again, guys, I'm not an expert in every function here, so if I sound kind of lost, probably means I am, and I apologize for that. But you can always hit your display button and figure out how to, figure out about that. All right, you got all your trap focusing functions here. Now, I know a lot of people ask about these functions, and I don't ever use them. I probably should, but I don't, and I don't know much about them. So I'm not going to sit here and try to explain all the different focusing setups here, because I'm going to sound like an idiot, and I'm going to get a million comments from people telling me I have no idea what I'm talking about, which is probably true. So I know rack focus is the biggest one, but when it comes to focusing, I really just manually focus with the focusing ring. So to me, that works just as good as using these items, and I'm sure someone will beg to differ with me on that one. All right, we got the play functions here, crop marks, after, so you can get in more stuff here. Now, if you want to save your configuration, you can do that now, but it pretty much automatically saves it now, which is awesome. And then you've got a few other settings here. It's going to let you know how much memory you got, so if you want to know how much memory, but again, that's going to give you, a lot of that information is right up here in the right corner. And I don't think it tells you how much memory you got, actually. But you can see that I have, so much memory left here. And then you can go in and mess with some of your power settings if you want. I mean, ML just has so much things to pick from. And then you've got, down in the help section, you've got a lot of things just telling you how, just a lot of Q&As and stuff. So if you ever have a question about stuff, you can go like FAQ. You can go down. There's all kinds of stuff to read here. Go back. And that's pretty much Magic Lantern. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to actually update Magic Lantern for all the people that don't know how to update it. It's so simple these days. Alright guys, so we're at the Magic Lantern wiki page, and we're going to download the October 27th. This review was for the 21st, but as you see, the 21st release is not out any longer. So we're going to use the 27th. The updating your Magic Lantern will be the same exact for the 27th or the 21st. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the 27th. We're going to click that. Now we're going to save file. And let's see here, where is, here it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to right click, open and containing folder. There it is. Now we're going to right click again, open with Windows Explorer. So there it goes, it's open. So now we're going to go into our card. As you can see, these are all of our files from the 21st update. So I'm going to highlight all of these, going to drag and drop them right on, all the files. I'm going to skip me. It's asking me if I want to merge these folders. I do not want to merge them. I'm going to click this down here, copy and replace, and it'll be the same thing for Mac users. So now it's going to go through and it's going to replace all the files with the 27 update, October 27th update instead of the 21st, which was on here already. And now you've updated Magic Lantern. It's simple as that. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments, or send me a message as well. You know we have an email now, mediaunlocked101@gmail.com, and check us out on Facebook or Twitter at DAVIDDIMAGES, especially Facebook, because I give updates when I'm coming out with videos. So anyways, hope this helped you guys out, and if you got any questions, again, just ask. You guys have a wonderful day.